Hey everybody. So today is the new moon in Pisces. Happy new moon. And I'm really feeling the Pisces vibe. I'm here by the seaside. I'm really feeling it. I wanted to talk about this time of year and how we can kind of capture what's available to us to further our goals, to make the most of this transitional moment because um, this is a really transitional time in between. We have this new moon in Pisces at 20 degrees, and it's all new moons are an activation, or they are um, a connection between our unconscious and our conscious minds. We become aware of, it's like we get an injection of I want to call it inspired energy. It's an injection of energy to kind of awaken new paths in our lives. And um, this new moon is special to me because while we have Saturn in Pisces, Saturn is sometimes thought of as really restrictive. Um, it's thought of as a restrictive, constricting influence, but really what it does when it goes through a sign is it makes clear what's outdated and helps us renovate. It helps us crystallize our goals and become more aware of our boundaries and what's important to us through in terms of time, because our lives are governed to some degree by chapters and cycles and time and the timing of those cycles and how much time we have in a day, how much energy we have in our lives. And we become much more discerning wherever Saturn is traveling through an area of our chart. So for you, your Pisces area is the area that's getting the renovation right now. And Pisces is a very it's an interesting energy because it contains a lot of duality. You know how you can think of events in your life, like, maybe 20 years ago, you had a falling out with a friend, or something didn't go quite right, and you can still be ruminating on that. And that's the karma of how we agonize. I think of these as little agonies that are very Piscean in nature, and they undo us. That it's self-undoing when we ruminate and we agonize and we torture ourselves about something that we feel like we didn't do well. That's the idea of karma to me, is that things kind of haunt us in the Pisces area. And we go through every year. So while the sun is moving through Pisces before the spring equinox and before we get, sun in Aries, which is the new starting space. It's the start of our energetic year. It's the start of a brand new fresh cycle. It's the start of spring. There's a reason why that's the time the light is growing and everything is starting to sprout, and we're ready to be done with the winter. We're ready to be done with things being kind of not growing and all of that. And it's also a time when we're just closing out these like recriminations of self, recriminations of others, of judgments. Where we judge ourselves is that's it tacks us down. And so with this Pisces transit having Saturn in the mix, it's going to be kind of guiding us very subtly through this period of almost 3 years that Saturn goes through Pisces to um, create boundaries with compassion. And one of the boundaries you have to create is the one where you say enough with the suffering, enough with the self-torture and feeling bad and shame spirals and all that stuff. And because what we're doing is we're cleaning out our emotional karmic closets, you know, and this can go very deep. It's on a spiritual level, and Pisces is that last sign that's holding all the karma of all the lifetimes and all the things we've done, right? So there's this, however you're experiencing this time period, this new moon is really like an activation or an awakening of you having a new emotional experience of yourself in whatever wherever you have Pisces. Even if you don't have a planet in Pisces, it's going to be in that area of your chart where you're ready to just forgive, let go, forgive others, let go of whatever they did, forgive yourself, let go of whatever you did, and really clear the path for what's new and exciting for you in your life. um, we are in eclipse season. Eclipse season is very much like this trajectory of accelerated change that we don't have a lot of control over. And just keep in mind, it's not just you, it's everybody who's around you. So you're going to see, heads rolling at work. You're going to see relationships stopping, relationships starting, people moving to a new country, doing different things. And this is what eclipse season brings in. We have a couple of these a year. Um, and so so we have an upcoming lunar eclipse in at 5 degrees Libra. So Libra is the place where we've collectively all been kind of having a loss of energy. So whatever part of your chart Libra rules, it's very similar to what I just said about the Pisces transit being one of completions, endings, letting go. So is the South Node. Whereas, so think about Libra as the very the area of where you're very diplomatic, where you've learned to be a politician, where you've learned to adapt, where you've learned to always consider someone else and and what they think of what you should do or who you should be. And just understand that that's been a waning cycle for all of us while it's been in Libra. And so if you look at 5 degrees Libra for this lunar eclipse that is upcoming, um, you'll you'll have an aware. And I'm saying this now because we're already in the mix. We can already feel that every time we enter eclipse season, we enter this weird feeling of intense. You have this, your emotional body is reacting to it, knowing, oh, I feel this feeling like everything's about to change, but I don't know how, and I don't exactly know what. And I'm not really sure what to do right now. It's kind of like a bird that's in the middle of a rising storm and they're trying to fly and the wind is kind of holding them back, and they're like, I'm confused, I'm trying to go west, should I go east, where should I go? um, it's also a time when our emotional body is like, who moved my food dish? Like, I do not know. This is not, I'm not comfortable with this. But it is a time of change because life, in fact, is a series of cycles, changes, and in constant growth. If we're not growing, we're withering. And so that is just, it's what we see in nature and it's what we see in human nature. So we are the same as nature. And so eclipses help us, um, they defy the controls and the control mechanisms of our like ego mind that likes everything, I like everything like this, don't move it. And it helps. It's like, oh no, little one, here we go, here's the path, here's the storm, let me carry you through, even if you're reluctant. It's this force that kind of moves us forward, um, whether we like it or not. And there's going to always be a part of you that likes it, that wants change and transformation, especially if you're a more adventuring spirit, an older soul. You'll be less scared of change. But, and there's always going to be a part of us that doesn't like it or is like, I'm not sure what this even means. Because every time we go through eclipse season, we go through changes in our self definition, our identity shifts and morphs. And I would say that right now, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I mean, well, and I have been talking about it in through the last several years, but there are so many perspectives, so many people are changing and accelerating their understanding of change in their own world and unplugging, unplugging from things like programming, unplugging that this means this to them or that means that. There are so many um, I'm thinking of the Great Resignation and how people are having very changed perspectives on work, what it means to work, what it means to have meaningful work, what you mean to work, all of this stuff. And so we are definitely in this really interesting time. Now, there's something else I wanted to say that I forgot because I was rambling about Saturn in Pisces. Now, so Pisces does get this sort of reputation for being self undoing, self sabotage, addicted to whatever. And, but the other piece of Pisces is able to set aside the smaller part of self to access true inspiration and inspired action and really elevated creativity. I'm thinking of movies. I'm thinking of literature, fine arts, music is very Piscean. And having Saturn here in the mix somewhere, not exactly, on the new moon by degree, but Saturn is a crystallizer of dreams. So if you can get out of the way all the bullshit and all the, oh, no, 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 I can't do that. I feel bad about myself. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm an expert at self sabotage. Or no, I'm going to suffer and I'm not worthy of that. And all of that stuff. Saturn is here to help you literally live in a different like song note, like it's a different musical note than you've been in. If you've been in a musical note that's like what I just said, yeah, down with me, down with everything, you can actually, Saturn can help you capture and crystallize the very highest ideas that you have. And these are or impulses to create and to manifest because Saturn's also a crystallizer, a manifester. So do what you will with everything I've said. I ramble a little bit, but it's just such an important moment to um, let yourself grow beyond the old wounding and constraints and limits. Always, always, you are actually not a series of definitions. You're not a series even of identities. You're actually everything that's observing that and all that is beyond that. You can be anything you want to be. And it's mostly that we live in a world that wants to capture your energy at all times. It's like a net. It's got a net over us, and it's doing a feedback loop and sucking, taking your attention, telling you who you're supposed to be, and reflecting that back to you at all times. And you have to kind of break that mirror right now, which I also think of as both Piscean and Aries, because Aries has the will to connect with pure, unadulterated desire and to break illusion, which is like breaking a mirror. It's like breaking the illusory experience that you are dictated to and must identify as such with thought forms that maybe didn't even come from you. So keep that all in mind. I didn't want to make this too long. This is a time of empowerment and it continues forward in April. I'll try to do another video in April. I'm not doing a lot of videos right now, only when I feel moved. So, but I'd love to hear how this time is for you. I'm sending you big hugs for this amazing time. I know I'm excited to see the chickadees landing on my tree and chirping and getting excited about spring because I'm excited too. So let me know how this time is for you. Thanks for watching.